Please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
and good afternoon, all the attendees. So once again, I welcome you all on the board as to introduce our speaker, Mr. Harpreet Singh Vohra. He has been currently working as a general manager at Hotel Radisson Blu, Faridabad, and his area of specialization is change management, problem solving, strategic planning, organizational design, training and development. Mr. Vohra started his career from the Oberois with the front office department, later worked with the elite properties like Taj, Hyatt, Carlson's, and many more. And yes, to mention, he has been awarded as an hospitality superstar also by World HRD Congress. So Mr. Vohra will be presenting his views on the etching a successful career in hospitality. So etching a successful career in hospitality, and my words to the audience, all those who are listening and attending, is that our panelists are not going to take the credit of your success. The credit will go to your first step. The credit will go to your decisions. I hope sir will agree with me. So now over to Vohra sir. Sir, kindly introduce yourself with your career journey, how you came up to this position, and what was all your experiences, and what you say about this hospitality industry as a career option.
Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Thank you so much. So the topic that I'm supposed to talk about or share my ideas is etching a successful career in hospitality. Well, I feel we all want to be successful, and to be successful, you need to have a vision in life. Yeah. No matter how good a ship can be, no matter how good an aircraft is, till the time the pilot or the captain doesn't have a vision, they will just sway away or shift away, and that is very important to have a vision. So I also had a vision. I come from a business background, to be very honest, from Bhopal. So I when I took up this hotel industry, this was about 22 years back. Hotels was a very new subject for everyone. Yeah. There were only two types of hotel companies or two hotel chains that people knew about, was Taj and the Oberois. And people used to tell me that, hey, where are you going? Is that what you? I mean, hospitality, for crying out loud. See, it is a new trend that we go to hotels every second day. 22 years back, it was a different scenario. People would not go to hotels. Bhopal being a small city, there was no five-star hotel there. And people used to tell me that it's not possible. And I'm a strong believer of Nelson Mandela. He says that everything is impossible till someone does it. Yeah. So so hotel school was a new thing, and my life changed after like you're doing this seminar. During our times, it used to be training sessions, and my life completely changed after I attended a training session, and the session was revolving around a statement: if you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. If you don't know where you want to go, any road will take you there. So from that statement, I'll start my career journey. So I had a vision that I want to be a successful hotelier. 150 people were there in our batch of hotel school, and probably handful are now left with hospitality. So what I'll talk about is my career journey. I'll also talk about what people understand about hospitality. So in this session, I'll give you a brief about hospitality. I'll also tell you the difference between hospitality and service, and what is needed for hospitality in terms of what is guest expectation. And then we'll have a question and answer session. In the interim, I think I've been told that if there are any questions, then the moderator will ask me, and I'll answer those questions as well. So starting with my career journey, I would say did my hotel school in I did my schooling from Bhopal, hence the affiliation towards Bhopal. Did my hotel school from Etching, Bhopal. Started my career in year 1998 with Oberoi Hotels in Mumbai. First one from my family to go to Mumbai. For a Bhopali to go to Mumbai was a big thing at that point in time. So started my career with Oberoi Hotels. From Oberoi Hotels, moved to Taj in Mumbai. I was a front office associate with Oberoi Hotels. And in a span of a year and a half, I was promoted as a duty manager with Taj Hotel. Yeah. So worked with Taj for 2 years, then got an opportunity to open up a truly international hotel, Hyatt Regency in Mumbai. Hyatt had just come to Mumbai. I was a pre-opening team member of Hyatt Regency Mumbai. Rose from duty manager up to the post of front office manager at Hyatt Regency Mumbai. And I take pride in the fact that I was picked up by Hyatt International as a room specialist. One amongst 10 people from all Hyatt hotels worldwide, and I was the only Indian to be chosen for that role. I worked with about 10 Hyatts worldwide in different countries with Hyatt. Then came back to India. As all good things come to an end, I also got married, so this role had to come to an end. At that point in time, Hyatt didn't have an opening for me in India. They were offering me China. So I parted ways with Hyatt because I had to stay in India. Worked briefly with the Grand right now, which was earlier the Grand Hyatt. That was the time when Hyatt was moving out of Grand Hyatt. Worked there briefly, then came back to Taj. I was with Taj in Bangalore. Taj at that point in time started a concept of El Taj, which is emerging leaders with Taj. I was the first batch of El Taj, and I was moved from Taj or slated to move from Taj Bangalore to Taj Palace Delhi as their term of accommodations manager or director of rooms, as we call it. At the same time, I was offered the post of resident manager by one of my ex-bosses, Mr. Farhad Jamal, with Intercontinental, the Grand New Delhi, which is currently the Lalit New Delhi. It's a 500-room hotel right in Connaught Place, and I was the resident manager. This was in year 2008. So I took that offer. I left Taj, and then I joined Lalit Hotel. Was the resident manager there. This was the time when Commonwealth was happening in Delhi, so got a fantastic exposure. That was a resident manager job, and then I opened up a Radisson Hotel in Hyderabad. So from there, I wanted, because all this while I had always worked in business hotel, I wanted to improve my learning for in leisure sector. So I opened up. So after opening up the Radisson Hotel, I opened an Angsana Spa, the only and the first Angsana Spa. It's a Thai company, Banyan Tree. So they came to Hyderabad for the first time. So I opened their spa, Angsana Spa, and that is when I started my interaction or my interest with leisure. Then moved back to moved to Agra with Radisson Blue Hotel in Agra. I was there for almost 2 years. Then I was slated to come to Delhi and open up Radisson Blue in Faridabad. That project got delayed, so I was in Gurgaon for 1 year with Park Plaza, and then I opened up Radisson Blue Faridabad. Been with Radisson Blue Faridabad for almost 4 years, and last month I got promoted as a cluster general manager with Radisson Hotel Delhi NCR cluster. So I have 10 hotels now reporting into me, and I'm based out of Radisson Blue Faridabad.
Congratulations.
So I hope I have set my credentials right to be a guest speaker of this session today.
Our pleasure to have you, sir.
Great, thanks so much.
How you introduce the term hospitality or the hospitality industry to our new aspirants, or those to the budding hoteliers, or those who want to take hospitality industry as one of their career options. So how you are going, how Mr. Vohra is going to introduce hospitality to our aspirants?
Okay. See, for all those budding aspirants and people who want to come into hospitality, let us first understand what hospitality is. Hospitality is made up of a Latin word called hospice, which means a guest or a host. So hospitality is all about a relationship between a guest and a host. Okay. it is associated, hospitality is associated with warmth, with respect, with protection, with goodwill, uh, with camaraderie, with relationship, and that is what you relate hospitality with. Now, just to give you a brief about the industry, hospitality has a global impact on the economy worldwide. It has four key sectors, if I may say. The first sector is food and beverage. Now, this sector primarily deals with fooding and various items to eat and beverage. So it also deals with on-site and off-site food and beverage outlets, and it is massive. At least I stay in Gurgaon, so I can tell you. You pick up a stone and probably hit in Gurgaon, it's gonna hit an eatery. So that's the extent and expanse of food and beverage in our day-to-day life today. So that is one aspect of hospitality. The other sector is what we call travel and tourism. Now, travel and tourism is about travel through various channels. It can be air, it can be ship, it can be cruise, it can be bus, it can be train, various agents who deal with it. So that forms another part of travel and tourism. So that's one sector that we're talking about. It basically means commuting or taking people from one area to the other, and how the entire experience and journey goes. The third aspect of hospitality is accommodation. Now, this is where hotels, B&Bs, Airbnbs, Oyo, your Sarai, and all those things come into which provide accommodation to travelers, to guests, to leisure people or leisure seekers. So that's the third aspect of hospitality. And the fourth sector is what we call as recreation. So that entails, adventure parks, Disneylands, museums, park, so on and so forth. So that these are primarily four major sectors of hospitality. As I said, it is global, and it generates almost it gives employment globally to about 200 million people every year, and that's the kind of employment that this industry or this sector generates. It contributes about 3.5 trillion US dollars every year. Now, if people don't know what this number is, I'll tell you. In 2019, it took us that long. Indian GDP touched $3 trillion. That's the amount of revenue hospitality generates every year. Yeah. So that is how hospitality is defined in a broader perspective. It is not only just these aspects; it also connects to people who do supply to all these. So it can be farming, it can be marketing. It prepares you as an individual. If you join hospitality, it also prepares you for sales and marketing. It teaches you certain skills that are there with you for life. It helps you building relationship. It helps you in communication. It helps you in problem solving. It helps you in delegating. It helps you in financial reconciliation. So these are the things that hospitality teaches you. So in a nutshell, if I were to define hospitality, I would say you need to remember three things. That hospitality is all about guest focus, guest experience. That is what hospitality deals in. There are four major sectors in hospitality, food and beverage being the biggest sector. And it gives you valuable skills that can be deployed and used throughout life. And it can also give you allied areas which you can venture out.
Right.
So,
thank you. Yeah. So as you just mentioned that all these sectors and the presence of guests or for the guest is very important. And how you see as the guest experience to be of important, or how guest experience is important to our hospitality industry?
See, before we see that's the motive of what hospitality is. But before I come to that, that's probably the third stage. First, let us understand, and this is the biggest problem that I see in today's day and age, is people don't understand the difference between hospitality and service. I'm sure you would have heard that we come from service industry, yeah.
Definitely.
So how's hospitality different to service is what I wanted to first tell you, and then I'll tell you what guest experience is, because that actually will explain you what our guest demands are. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So see, hospitality and service are two aspects of what we do. They're two distinct and different aspects. Yeah. Let us first understand what service is all about. So service is the act of doing things, a procedure or a task. The way things are done is what we call service. It has to be consistent. It has to be methodical. It has to be procedure. It has to be a process-driven thing. It is how to part of what we do. Yeah. So that is what service is. It's a how to part of our day-to-day work. Uh, in food and beverage, I would say, putting serving food from left hand side, clearing it from right hand side, and that is, or serving the food is the part of service. Yeah. Hospitality, on the other hand, is the emotional part. Yeah. It is anticipating. Absolutely, absolutely. Knowing before the guest expects. So understanding and empathizing with the guest, the emotional bit of it, understanding his expressed and unexpressed needs and wants is what hospitality is. Uh, it is more emotional. It is more intuitive. That's hospitality. Service is a skill. Hospitality is the spirit. I'm gonna use it that way. Yeah. So hospitality is entirely different to service, though they are interlinked. Please understand, people come to your hotel or to your outlets or to you because of hospitality and not because of service. Yeah. So this is what needs to be very clear, that hospitality is the spirit. Hospitality is dynamic. Hospitality is confident. Hospitality is hopeful. Hospitality is anticipating things, and service is basically skills, of doing things right, doing things the way a procedure would be. Uh, Service happens on its own. Hospitality has to be built in. Hospitality comes from within. Yeah. You would, and try to remember any area which has blown you away, if an experience that blows you away, you would understand that it was because of the hospitality and not because of the service or the sequence with which the service happened. So I feel that's the biggest differentiator between hospitality and service. Uh, People will come to you. A great hospitality will make good for mediocre service. If you're serving a fantastic meal, but the server is just doing a regular transaction, then you would not feel good. Yeah. Let me give you another example. Hospitality is all about generosity. You go to a nice high-end restaurant, they serve you amuse bush. That's basically an appetizer before your meal comes in, so that's free. You go to a hotel, they serve you welcome drink. That's free. You walk into the room, they have cookies and cakes and pastries and fruits and da da da. All that is free of service. This is to show generosity. That is what hospitality is. You are paying for it. Please remember, you're paying for it. Everything is bunked into the cost. Yeah. But it is the act of generosity. In service, it is even transaction. It is very, very transactional. So there's no generosity in service. Yeah. So that is the key difference between service and hospitality. I call up an American Express credit card division and I ask for certain things. They give me an answer. That's very transactional. You asked a question, I gave you an answer. You asked for me to serve you food, I served you food. That's very transactional. That's service. But what's hospitality is me anticipating that you're having your lunch or meal and you look sad. So I walk up to you, I talk to you, I empathize with you. That's hospitality. I see your glass is half empty, I fill it up. I still know you have enough water to take you through the meal, but I fill it up and I pass you a smile. That's hospitality. Yeah. So please remember that people will come to you over and over again for your hospitality. Service is also important, as I said, that's an integral part as well. But good hospitality will always make way for mediocre. Good hospitality would always overturn a mediocre service, but it can't work the other way. So that's what my understanding or about hospitality and services, and that is what students and professionals today should know about. Now coming to your question, uh, what is guest expectation, and do you think guest experience is important, and what guest expectation is? Um, See, in our industry, people expect a lot. Fantastic service, great hospitality. That is what the expectation is. I will give you an example. E-retail companies, abundant now. Amazon is the market leader in e-retail. You know why? Because it is seamless, so they give you fantastic service. But what is more important is the after sales service experience that you get. So that experience is extremely important. Yeah. And that is what makes Amazon the market leader. They offer you a seamless experience. It is easy clicks. You put it on your cart, easy checkout. You want to return something, no questions asked, return policy. They don't ask for original tags and original packing, and that wrapper is missing. All that doesn't happen at Amazon. Yeah. So that is why they are market leaders. In hospitality, and this is what statistics say, 60% of any F&B outlet, 60% that open every year, don't see it through the first year. You know why? Because they don't give the kind of service that guests are expecting. Yeah. So guest experience is of paramount importance. Please remember, and this is how the math of guest experience works. And that's the difficult part of it. You would say that, hey, I've done the best of service, and I have done I've been very hospitable, but that's your feeling, right? From the guest point of view, you need to look at it from, as I said, Amazon is a key example. You and everybody would have gone through it. You place an order, you don't like it, refund given, return taken, everything done to the T. Second day delivery means second day delivery. So that is how consistent they are in their service delivery, and that is how importance they give to your experience. Yeah. So that is what the importance is. And I was talking about the math of bad experience. Any disgruntled guest, or any guest who's not very happy, the math says that he goes and tells to 12 people. That is what happens. Yeah. And those 12 people in turn tell to 6 more people, and those 6 people tell to 3 more people, and that's the trusted math behind a bad review. So in a span of one transaction, you have spoiled 300 prospective guests, because if you are buying an aircraft and I don't buy an aircraft, then it does not make sense to me, and you would not share that experience with me. But these are those guests who probably would like to go to a restaurant and have sought an advice from you because you visited that place. You've spoiled 300 people. Now this becomes amplified 1,000 times, when it goes as an online review. So that becomes all the more viral, if I may use that word for lack of any better word. Yeah. So that is how important experience is. Yeah. A business is successful only if you have customer, and today's customer is extremely demanding, if I may say, has extremely high expectation. So you have to innovate, you have to ensure that you live up to that expectation. Right now, meeting expectation is not why they come to you. They want you to exceed their expectations. And that is what keeps you afloat. That's what keeps you stands you out of the crowd, and that is what you should strive for.
And I believe that's only makes you to be the leader in the industry.
Absolutely, absolutely, and there is no other way, because as I said, there are. I gave you that example. There are dime a dozen eateries outside in Gurgaon, and they open like mushrooms and they close like mushrooms. As I said, 60% don't even see the first year, right? So it is all about consistency. It is all about guest experience. It is all about. Please understand, 86% of the purchases that happen based on reviews. They don't happen because you have a fantastic ambiance or you have great food. People like to buy seeing what the other person is saying about that product. I'll give you my example. If I have to buy something on Amazon or on Flipkart, the first thing that I do is I look at that product, and then next to that there are reviews, and I read those
Right.
reviews. That is how I get to know whether it will be delivered on time, how's the product, what is it. I have not used it. I want to buy it, but I will look at those pictures. How does that product come? Because what picture the manufacturer is showing vis-a-vis what comes to the guest or to the end user is entirely different. And based on that, you reward your buying pattern. And that is true in every industry, be it hospitality or anything else. So people buy, and 86% of purchases happen based on your or other person's reviews, and that is how important it is to keep your guest expectation, and you have to meet them, you have to exceed them if you want to be in business. Otherwise, you will be out of the business.
Yeah.
There are diagrams and e-readers will be out of you.
That's
Sorry,
the
I
principle.
didn't
That will be the principle for sustainability. If you want to sustain, you'll have to exceed your expectations.
Undoubtedly, that's the survival mantra. You have to exceed that, and
Right.
that is what has happened. Once Amazon came in, I mean, I've been told that when Jeff Bezos takes meetings, and that's, I might be wrong also here, but he keeps a chair separate for customer, and he in his all decisions he ensures that one chair is left vacant, and he feels, and I've read it somewhere, that he keeps customer on his table in terms of any decision that is being taken by the think tank. They also keep a customer in mind. How will it affect the end user? So it is not about our feasibility and our workability. It is also about how a customer would react to that entire thing. And that is what, as hospitality and in our industry as well, we need to keep in mind. More often than not, what we do is something that caters to us, and we don't look at how it's gonna react, how it's gonna affect the customer behavior or usability.
Right. About the hospitality industry, says you're into this industry since so long. So,
Right.
what will be your address to the parents and to the guardians whose wards are willing, or those whose parents are willing their wards to be into this industry? What will be your address to them?
Uh, See, I would still say I can only give my experience, right? And this is a problem that I face with when we do campus interviews as well. Uh, People look at the end result, and that happens with everyone, right? We go to a gym and we want to be Salman Khan in the first week, then Arnold Schwarzenegger in the next week. So it doesn't work that way. It is an industry that is, as I said, expectations are really, really high. So and those wards who are going, or their parents, when they go to hotels, their expectations are also high, right? So it requires a lot of effort, it requires a lot of discipline, it requires a lot of hard work. The end result is fantastic, end result is awesome, but the journey is not very easy. It is difficult. I told you that if you remember 22 years back when I started my career, there were 150 students, handful have remained with the industry. Though this industry gives you various other aspects for you to get into, because it develops that kind of confidence in you. It gives you avenues. There are so many avenues now for people who go through this grind. But it is not a very easy ride. I must tell you that, and nothing is easy. Nothing comes in life is easy. The only thing that comes easy is dandruff, but apart from that, nothing else comes easy in life. So it's going to be difficult. It is hard work. Uh, it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of perseverance. It requires you to do it every day. It wants you to be a winner, and I feel that a winner is a person who falls and gets up, falls and gets up. He's not the one who's going to win that, but every time you fall, and this industry also makes you fall every time, but that's fine. You fall and you get up, you fall and you get up, you fall and you get up. So that is what the attitude should be. It won't be a rosy thing that day one you would go after your hotel school, you become a management trainee and you wear a coat and a jacket and they'll give you an office. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Even if you become a management trainee with any good hotel company, you still have to go through the grunge work. You still have to start probably cleaning dishes as well, making rooms, checking in guests, standing at a reception counter for 10 hours. Not easy. Not easy. Looks very rosy, looks very green from the other side, but not very easy. But should you go through this grind, as I said, it's a very rewarding career. It is it's a fantastic career. It gives you a different perspective for your life. So that will be my thought. It is a lot of hard work to start with. Should you perceive, should you just go through the motions, then it's a very rewarding career.
Right. Thank you, sir. Sir, what my say is that what should be the purpose for an aspirant to be into the hospitality industry? Because as we say that most of the say career aspirants, they look for power, profit, prestige, and purpose of their life. So would like to know about your views on that.
See, hospitality gives you everything. It gives you power, it gives you prestige, it gives you purpose, it gives you, if you have that as your purpose. I mean, I always wanted, I told you that the only example that I can give is my example, right? So I come from a business background, the only son. I mean, my parents wind up their business, and I started my career. So it has given me, it has given me purpose, it has given me prestige, it has given me rewards, it has given me everything that I want. So, as I said, it is not only hotels that you are targeting. This industry, this profession, this course opens a lot of avenues for you. Yeah. If I am a doctor, I can only get into the medical field. But if I am in hospitality business, I can also get into medical field. Can you beat it? You also do medical catering, right? So this avenue, this profession or this course opens up those avenues for you. Avenues are immense. You choose which area. As I said, there are four sectors that I was talking about, right? So it also teaches you sales and marketing. It also teaches you logistics. It also teaches you financial reconciliation. So there's so many things that you can learn from once you get into this profession. And not only hotels. Hotels is just one. Accommodation is just one sector of it. Or food and beverage is just one sector. Now, food and beverage again has food and beverage. So you can get into that beverage bit of it and do microbreweries, and sky is the limit. So in terms of you getting that purpose, prestige, it is all based on your efforts, your hard work, your liking towards the subject, your understanding about the subject, and it gives you avenues to explore. The sky is the limit, I would say.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. So one of the questions came up that since this is a pandemic going on, and this is one of the final year student from some other college is there, and he's asking that whether what he should do with the placement part, whether he wants. Okay, I'm coming up with the direct question that what should he do when he passes out of from the college?
Okay. See, these are difficult times. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he is same hotel school. He was 1 year senior to me. I passed out of Etching. He's 1 year senior to me. He's currently senior vice president with a multinational bank based out of Malaysia. Yeah. We all started at humble levels, right? And that is what I will go back to the same thing. You need to be committed. You need to have the patience. It is trying time, and we've seen it twice. I mean, in fact, thrice, I would say. This time, this has been unprecedented. I mean, I've never seen something like this of this magnitude ever before in my life, and I don't want to see it again in my life. But we've been through 9/11. That was a time when recession hit. We've been through 2008, 2009, that kind of a recession, and now this. Yeah. So right now, keep up the faith. Things will. We are a very resilient economy. We are a very resilient country. Our industry has strong ethics. We will rebound. We will come out of it. It is just about having patience. Start, even if it is humbling. Start low. Get your foot into it. As I said, this is a very, very rewarding industry. Things may not happen overnight, but I must tell you that. And Again, I'm giving you my example. I'm a cluster general manager. I have 10 hotels that report into me right now. When I started as an associate. So if everybody who knows what my worth is has recognized it over years, I would get what I wanted. And trust me, I've been general manager for 10 years now or more. In fact, 12 years now. So 12 years back, I became a general manager. So all I'm trying to tell people is that if you have potential in you, you need not start as a management trainee or a senior vice president. You will never. But start, and if you prove yourself, you will get avenues and opportunities, and people will recognize you. So I would still tell all the third years that this is difficult time. Yeah, but keep up the faith, keep up the hope. You would, and join whatever wherever you get. Don't even look at. I know campuses would be far and few in between, but keep up the hope. Keep on trying. We've gone through the grind as well. So keep on trying wherever, whatever you get. Please get into the industry. Don't leave the industry. That's my 10 cents that I would like to give.
Right. So another point came up, and they wanted to know that what are the upcoming trends in the hospitality industry, or what could be more, say, something innovations coming up in hospitality industry. Basically, they are asking for an upcoming trends, keeping employability in the mind.
See, right now I've been talking to so we've been attending a lot of webinars. We've been talking about things will change completely. Hospitality 3 months back versus hospitality 3 months hence will be entirely different. Yeah, we will all become very tech savvy. It has to revolve around a lot of hygiene factors. It has to be very customer centric. So there will be a lot of new trends that will come out. I'm just talking about something that we've never heard of, and which is what we will also do. Hyatt Regency is doing free home delivery kind of a model that we are getting into. We are getting into take home a chef kind of a model. So we would bring hospitality to your doorstep, and that is what the new trend will be. Gone those days when it used to be, a lot of food kept here. It has to, from a food and beverage point of view, I would say the trend would be that the food should first appeal the eye before it appeals the palate. I'm sure you have attended a session that Chef Kunal would have done. So that would be the new trend. There'll be a lot of technology that will get involved. Old days of hospitality will not work. Yeah. Expectations would be high. Hygiene standards have to be high. Your guest experience has to be superlative, and that is what people expect because every hotel right now after COVID start from ground zero. So many options, and everything would be from zero. Right now, our hotels are under lockdown. When the lockdown opens up, we all start from ground zero. So huge competition. You have to be a step ahead to survive. Yeah. So things will change drastically. So the best time to get into hospitality, because the kind of learning that you will get now will be immense and phenomenal.
If I'm not wrong, you are trying to say that we have a feel of Atithi Devo Bhava with professionalism.
Oh, Atithi Devo Bhava and Atithi everything Bhava now. Atithi
Right.
Mani Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. It has to be everything now. And Atithi shouldn't even come to you. You should go to the Atithi. So, we're not taking hospitality to your doorstep. And that is what I want to say. That today, guest in true sense would become God. And he is. He's always been God. But today, he'll be more than God. So, of course, Atithi Devo Bhava with technology and with a lot of professionalism.
Vohra sir, I have a question. Into academics for last 14 years, I do have a question that what should the faculty do to create better hoteliers? Whether it's a classroom teaching, practicals, visits, or what? How to create a better hoteliers?
See, as faculty, I would tell you, and then I'll go back to Jagran Lake University. The kind of infrastructure that you guys have is phenomenal. I mean, I've been to different hotels. I've done a lot of campus interviews. The infrastructure that you guys have is amazing. I have experienced the service in your campus. it is really good. So continue doing what you guys are doing. Try to evolve and change as per the trends. And the biggest ambassadors are students who go to industrial trainings. And the best part is that I really don't know what's happening probably at a Marriott or an Accor or an Oberoi or a Taj or a Sheraton. But students who come back, get. I mean, my feel would be that they are the best ambassadors who would say that, hey, I went through a training and this is different to what probably A is telling, what happened at a Taj, what happened at an Oberoi, what happened at a Radisson, or what happened at an Accor. This is something new. So you have to again also evolve and change your curriculum accordingly. I'll give you our example. I mean, we used to work on Whitney racks, for crying it loud.
Yes.
Nobody does Whitney racks now. That becomes a part of your curriculum, and that has been there for donkey's years. Guys, no hotel in this world works on Whitney rack, right? So why not evolve your learning also accordingly? And because you guys are at Helm of Affairs, and that would be my 10 cents for all institutes, that even teachers should visit hotels. They should also keep themselves updated with what's happening at hotels. So you should also have industrial, if I may use that word for lack of any better word, industrial training again, and see what's happening and how you can inculcate that into your curriculum.
Sir, I'm very pleased to inform you that and all the attendees that at JLU we have started faculty refresher training for everyone, especially in the School of Hospitality, and they have to do once in 2 years, at least for a 15 days with the industry. It's not with the academics.
Absolutely, and that is necessary. That is, it will be a refresher for faculty as well. That, hey, hang on, water has moved from what I saw last time to what's happening now. Yeah, so things have moved. I am amazed at the creativity. I mean, I tell my chef that he's an artist. Yeah, the way food and beverage has evolved has been phenomenal, amazing. We have gone into molecular gastronomy, for crying out loud, and that is what your guest expects. I give you a foam which tastes like bhel puri. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked out of your wits, and that is the level at which food and beverage operates now. So that is what I give you a bubble sort of a thing, and you eat it and tastes like dal chawal. That is what molecular gastronomy has gone into. So till the time you don't go there, you don't experience what's happening in the industry, how would you teach them? You would again teach them the same thing, and they'll appear for campus interviews and they'll say, you've not gotten through just because we're not taught this.
Right, exactly. So there are many questions coming up, and there's a question from our faculty, Mr. Anand Verma. He just wanted to know a personal question that what is your style of management?
What is my style of management? Okay. Well, I lead from the front. I'm with my team, and I was, and this is something that I've learned from Mr. Nakul Anand, and he says that when there's something right that happens, he looks out of his window and sees his team and says, "Hey, you've done something right." And when something wrong happens, he looks in the mirror and says, "Hey, you've done something wrong." So that should be the way you should. So if there's something right that happens, the credit should go to the team, and that is how a good leader should do. And if something wrong happens, which is bound to happen, as I said, a winner has to fall and then get up. So you need to introspect that, hey, I think there was something wrong that we did. We need to introspect and do it. So my leadership style is I am at the front. I follow what Indian Army does. I'm a great fan of Indian Army as well. So there, in any combat that Indian Army does, there's equal casualty of Jawans and officers, which means that officers just don't order from behind. They are right in the front with their soldiers. So that is what we do. We are, I lead from the front, so I am with them. And, if there's credit that has to be given, it has to go to the team. And if there's something, a brick bat that has to be taken by the leader. So that is how I lead my team.
So the same question I asked Chef Kunal also. While in the teaching industry and seeing the young generation, you might have also noticed that today's generation is quite impatient, and they don't stick to one thing on a means for a longer period. They want instant result, like instant coffee. So, what is your suggestion to those aspirants or the person, those who are still in hospitality courses, to develop the habit of patience or to stick to something for a longer period? Because as you
Yes.
just mentioned, there is something which is come free is dandruff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything has a cost.
Absolutely, absolutely. Comes without effort is dandruff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's it.
so I'll tell you, Nafis, and this is a problem. I mean, we are in the generation, and we should also respect that. I must tell you, I've been talking to a lot of people, and if you remember when I started this conversation, I said you need to have a vision. Yeah.
Right.
Things have changed drastically, and as I said, when we started our careers, our vision was that I want to become. So I come from front office background, so my vision was that I want to be a duty manager in this time. I want to be this in this time. I want to be that in that time. And I was reading again something, and a person said that he was talking to MBA aspirants, and they said, "What is your vision?" He said, 30 by 30. So the professor asked, "What do you mean by that?" He says, "I want 30 million by the age of 30." So people have that vision as well. Yeah. So if that's the vision, then he needs to work towards it. I would say, even if it is instant gratification, you need to have the vision. And trust me, things would. I mean, we would want to hire budding talent. We would want to hire people who have some intrinsic worth along with. So it's not only. It is good to have vision. Work towards it. Vision without any effort is a dream. Don't have a dream, have a vision. So if you want to be, and this is what I was telling just now, a couple of minutes back, that get in the industry, understand, do the grunge work, and if you have it in you, your bosses will recognize it, and you will get your due. Again, time is not of essence, because if you are that good, you would also climb the ladder equally fast. People take time because they feel that they have it, others don't. So we value that, we understand it. Competition is equally fierce, and they also get to know. So if you have that worth, you would get it. But even if you aren't, I mean, in 10 minutes and half an hour interview, we can't judge everything, right? So there's only certain things that we can look at. So I would still say, and telling this to aspirants, that please have a vision in your life. Make a vision and work towards it. Have it. If you travel through Delhi and Bhopal in a train, the train driver knows that he has 15 stops between Delhi and Bhopal, but he still embarks on that journey. He starts there, knowing very well that there'll be 15 stops in between. He doesn't stop saying that, "Hey, there's so many stops in the journey, I would not start." Start. Have that vision that this is where you have to reach, and work towards it. Work as in slog towards it. Don't even think twice. Just slog towards it. I've slogged 12 hours, standing 12 hours for months together, every day, day in and day out. Things don't come easy. Only dandruff comes easy.
To us, even dandruff don't come.
You are lucky.
Anyway, sir, there is a very interesting point a class 12 student raised, and he's an aspirant of hotel management to become a hotelier. So he asking you that seeing the current scenario, is it okay to join a hotel management college? He will be in the industry for after like 3 years.
Absolutely is the answer, without an iota of doubt. As I said, this is one industry that will open your avenues like there's no other industry does. Plus, we will bounce back.
He means seeing the current situation of COVID-19 and the slang in the industry. So he is more worried about the revival of the industry within the next 3 years.
Absolutely, there's no two ways about it. And I can get into technicalities also, but I would spare that right now. See, there will be things that will happen. The way economies have opened up, people travel a lot. Inbound would happen. So these are all technical terms. I didn't want to touch that, but I'll still, just for the sake of answering it, inbound is the only thing that is affected. Yeah. Now inbound is people coming from different countries to India. Yeah.
Definitely.
But Indian economy is so robust. It is, as I said, our domestic travel is so much. There's incentive that goes from India overseas that will also not go. So they would use hospitality. They would use hotels. They would use avenues of hospitality. Of course, there will be restrictions post COVID, which we don't know at this point in time. And I buy that. There will be restrictions. There'll be a lot of curbs, but things will evolve. We are talking about a new age of hygiene standards that hotels will adopt that nobody had ever seen. So once you enter, there'll be a sanitization tunnel that you would go through when you walk into the hotel. So you would be a different individual altogether. So that is where the industry is going right now. Yeah, industry would revive because we are a very strong industry in terms of our ethics and our source, our core, right? So travel will definitely happen. There are manufacturing hubs that would require engineers to work, so that travel will happen. We want human interface. These things of webinars which is happening right now would not sustain long because we want human interface. We like human interaction, right? So that those meetings would, of course, these happen right now just because there is nothing else that we can do. But going forward, this industry will definitely rebound. It is very buoyant. People would love to go out and try food and beverage at different places. So there is no way that this industry doesn't revive, and it will. I might be skeptical about various other industries, but hospitality for sure. So 3 years down the line, it will be a different ballgame. Plus, it will also give you avenues for other aspects if you feel. Does that answer the question, Nafis?
I hope that answered the question. The same point, same view I tell to that particular guy, but he wanted to ask from a GM point of view. So that's good.
So that's the GM point of view.
That is ultimately GM point of view. So there is another question that how you see what is the role of competition in the industry from different
What is the role
players
of competition in the industry?
in hospitality?
Oh, lovely question. It keeps us afloat. It helps us improvise things. If there's no competition, then you don't grow, and that goes for everyone. So if there's no competition, you get into that comfort zone, and that makes you dull. I mean, that kills you, if I may use that word for lack of any better word. So I feel competition is always welcome. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps. I'll give you a simple example. See, when Aero City hotels were coming up, Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, all those places, or NCR for that matter, was worried. There are 5,000 hotel rooms coming in Aero City at walkable distance from the airport. Why would people go to Connaught Place? Why would people go to Noida? Why would people go to Gurgaon? See, now those hotels, I mean, this is pre-COVID scenario. Hotels at Aero City are thriving. Hotels in Connaught Place are thriving. Hotels in Gurgaon are thriving, and the new hotels coming up because that kind of business influx has also come in. So as I said, if you have competition and if you can beat the competition, then you would always be there. You would always be on number one. Shangri-La, which is at Connaught Place, does a YTD occupancy of 85%, year-to-date occupancy. It's a 300-room hotel that does an ADR of 12,000 rupees. So people come from the airport all the way to Connaught Place, and people who don't understand the math or the geography of the place, the distance is about 30 odd kilometers. Yeah. 30, 20 kilometers. So that kind of commute they do to go to central Delhi. So all I'm trying to say is if you are beating your competition every time when competition comes up, it makes you a better hotel, a better professional, and it is very, very important for your survival as well.
Yeah, there is a new questions coming up. Okay, there is a faculty, he's a very senior man, Mr. D.C. Vashish. He asked, to create a better hotelier, it is required to have 5-year industry experience or not?
Hospitality comes from within. So if you are hospitable,
to create a better hotelier as an academician, he is an academician, I believe. And so there is, every university has a norm, either 3 years required, 4 years, 5 years, as we do have 4 years of experience minimum required in the industry. So what is your take in that? Okay, it should be mandatory.
well, if you want better professionals to come out, it's advisable, and I feel it is right that you should have spent some time in the industry, so you know what industry is and how things work in the industry, and you can accordingly tell your students also that, hey, this is what, if you are getting into this kind of a profession, this is what is expected of you, and the reason why I'm telling you that is because I've been through it, and that instills a lot of confidence in the student as well. See, whatever I'm telling you is out of my personal experience. So all I'm saying is that I have gone through it, and hence I can tell you, I can thump the table, I can put my hand on my heart and say that this is how it works because I've been through it, right? I don't know. I've never operated a person, so I can't tell you how a doctor feels on when a patient is on the operation table because I've never been there. I have not done that, so I can't say that. The same way, if you go through the industry and if you've gone through the grind, if you've seen how things work in the industry, then it is all the more beneficial for you as professionals, as teachers, as academic in your academic sessions, that you can impart better knowledge. That's what my 10 cents would be. Whether it's 4 years or 5 years, I leave it to people who take that decision. But industry exposure is important, and in fact, it should be ongoing. Like you rightly said, that once in 2 years, you should keep on refreshing it.
I have the same feeling, Mr. Vashish, if you want someone to be something, you should also have an experience in that particular field. Otherwise, you could not do justice. You cannot. You should have at least 3 to 4 years experience in industry. Then only you can teach them what is industry is. And now the other question is from Mr. Doctor Shoaib Khan. He said he just wanted your help to ask where he can find more stuff on molecule gastronomy as from the point of view of a researcher.
You'll have to tell Dr. Shoaib that Chef Kunal is the better person to answer that question, or my chef.
I think that time he was not there online, so he missed that.
He is the best person to answer that question, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Sir,
Okay.
another question from my end. What qualities were, just want to reveal your qualities from your words, in your words, that what brought you as a hospitality superstar, crown to your head?
Okay, so see, hospitality superstar was something, an initiative of Economic Times and World HRD. Now, this is not an award that I applied for or I nominated. So they had a different model, which is they talk to industry leaders and they in turn nominate, right? So that is how this award came in. So if it is related to that, then the answer is that I really don't know what the criteria were, because neither did I nominate myself, neither was I aware that it was done by Economic Times and World HRD Conference, and they did a sample of about 100 or 100 plus hoteliers who they spoke to. They were given questionnaires, and that is how these names came out. That is what, if that's related to that.
Basically, I want to know what these budding hoteliers or what these new aspirants, they should develop in themselves as the qualities to be a future hoteliers.
See, I came across a nice quote today morning, yeah. So I wrote it down. So I was just writing it. So I just wrote it down, and I'll read that quote. I don't know if that makes sense. It might just answer that question. The quote is, learn to take on things that you have never done before. I repeat, learn to take on things that you've never done before. Growth and comfort do not coexist. Yeah.
Sir,
So learn to take things that you've never done before.
sir, so I'll take it as a last question. There is Mr. Abhijit Usman. I think he has worked with you in Hyderabad, so he wanted to thank you. And so for the last 14 years, I'm taking care of the placement and training also for the School of Hospitality, where I've been. So I have seen a big gap compared to other industry from where a hotelier start or a engineer or a somebody else journalist start, be it a training or be it a job. So can't we develop some mechanism as you are a GM, a cluster GM? Can't we develop a mechanism where the hotelier should get better paid off in the start? And why?
Well, Nafis, I'll tell you. Just to answer that question, it is very very industry specific. Yeah. I give that example when I go for placement interviews as well. See, our industry is I don't know again if I can use that word as more labor extensive or that kind of an industry because it is laborious. It is it so every industry has various aspects, right? It pays you less in the beginning and pays you more. It's more rewarding at the later stage, right? So if you see it through 4 or 5 years, then the pay scales increase drastically. Though we are doing a lot of changes, we are as industry per se, and even we are a part of these forums where we say that we do market correction for salaries, and salaries are not that low. But I would still say that we do get quality at that salary as well. I mean, if that can be an answer to it. But right now we are looking at rationalizing for beginners, but our industry is such that in the initial phases it may not give you that kind of a reward in terms of monetary terms, but the learning would be immense, which you would probably get a couple of years later. Again, I'll give you my example and my age. I have been privy to .com bubble that came to India, call centers that came to India, and I'll tell you my personal experience. When I was a duty manager with Hyatt Regency Mumbai, when hotel just opened, my salary was around 13,000 rupees a month, 1 3. Yeah. And that was a time when call centers came to India, and there's a company called Chase Cards, Manhattan Chase Cards. They were coming up with a call center at Mahakali Caves, which is very close to Hyatt Regency. And they wanted people from hospitality who speak good English, who understand guest grievances, complaints, and so on and so forth. So they called me for an interview. Just a call landed on my phone. They called me for an interview. I got through as an assistant manager, handling a team of about 30, 40 people. And the salary that they offered me was 60,000 rupees. From 13,000 to 60,000, I didn't sleep for 3 days. To take up that offer, or should I refuse that offer? So, but I don't know. As sanity prevailed, I did not take that offer. Today, Chase Cards is not in India. I, on the other hand, have become a cluster general manager. So all I'm trying to say is that at this point in time, our industry is such that it pays you less in the beginning. However, if you continue, if you persist, the rewards are much more. It gives you all those things that your colleague said. It gives you prestige, it gives you power, it gives you recognition, it gives you purpose.
Shalit. So with this last question, we came to end of the session. So immediately, Mr. Jay Vijay will be joining us for the next session on travel and tourism. So I request all the attendees to be there and take knowledge from that session also. And I would like to thank Mr. Hamilton for moderating the session. And before we close down and sign off this session, I ask Mr. Vohra to please give a closing statement.
Thank you so much, Nafis. It was lovely interacting with you guys, taking those questions. It was really nice. And I miss coming to JLU. You have a fantastic facility, and I urge people. I mean, as I said, in my thing also that the efforts, the infrastructure that JLU has is phenomenal. This is a fantastic series. I would want you to continue this. Call industry experts, do this. it is good learning that people get, and I understand there were 60, 70 people who were there. So it is good learning for them. You hear it from the horse's mouth, and it's a fantastic initiative. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure being a part of this webinar. Thank you so much.